Hey, welcome back. This is Shah. I wanted to cover the recent Al Pacino story. If any of you guys have been following him, he was like recently on the news because he had a baby with like this really young lady who I believe was in her 20s. Well, we've since got an update on that case, and the child support order is now live and in effect. Let's go and take a look at what happened. Al Pacino has agreed to pay his girlfriend, Noor Alfallah, $30,000 a month in child support and another $110,000 for her to get her own place, court docs show. Man, that 30,000 is really high. Like that beat out Tyrese. That beat out Britney Spears is paying 40 for two kids, so this is 30,000 for one kid. So that's something. Al Pacino has agreed to pay his girlfriend Noor $30,000 a month in child support for the pair's 4-month-old son. Wow. They didn't even make it a year and the child support order is done, as well as a slew of other payments, according to new court documents obtained by Insider. The court papers filed in the Superior Court of California say a judge ruled that 83-year-old Pacino and 29-year-old Alfallah would share joint custody of their son, Roman, but that Alfallah would have primary physical custody of the child. In addition to the $30,000 a month in child support. Okay, so now we know it's very specifically child support. The Oscar-winning actor will also have to pay Alfallah an extra payment of $110,000, the court documents say. The lump sum is intended to be utilized by Alfallah to assist her with relocating to a new residence for her and Roman, as well as any furniture, furnishings, and moving expenses that may be necessary for same, according to the court papers. I wonder what the deal was here. Like, was this the deal? Like, I just want to have a kid with you and I'll pay whatever because I'm 80 something and I feel like having a kid. Why can't they live with him? I mean, did she want to leave him? This is very weird. The court papers also say that for as long as the Scarface actor is alive, he will have to make a yearly deposit of $15,000 for a college savings account for Roman. On top of all that, Pacino will have to pay 100% of healthcare costs for Roman not covered by insurance. That's pretty standard in a child support order, as well as 100% of Roman's mutually agreed upon extracurricular activities and lessons, according to the court documents. The court papers say the Serpico actor and Alfallah have reached a compromised amount of child support in the interest of a peaceful resolution, and consistent with their desire to maintain an amicable relationship for the best interest of their minor child. This is really interesting to me because it's saying that they've reached this as a peaceful resolution. But to be honest, the way the child support system works is that it really doesn't matter what your attorney as the provider says you think a fair amount should be, because the other attorney just has to say, hey, we want guideline. Guideline is that calculator that I showed you in my last video when we were calculating child support figures. And it didn't always used to be this way. It used to be judges had more dexterity on what amount they were going to award. But as we got our federal child support program, and as that was adopted by the states, this is when we started getting these things called guidelines, which, you know, you punch in numbers and according to the state formula, it spits out a child support number based off of custody and things like that. So your attorney can argue a certain thing, but the other attorney could just say, we're entitled to guideline support and we want guideline support. The other interesting thing that I saw on some comments was that people were saying, well, you know, it's $30,000 a month because he's 83 and he might, you know, be gone in a couple years. So it makes sense that it's so high. But this is assuming the child support order will end when he passes away. And it's for most people like you and me, you know, because we're not rich, the child support order will end and they will stop enforcing it if we passed away midway through its accrual. But when you're rich, like Al Pacino, it's different. Okay, so according to this article, it is possible to collect child support from a deceased parent. And just to sum it up for you, the reason that is if you're rich enough to have an estate, the child support agency can go after the estate for the payments in order to collect on that. So, you know, if you don't have any money, like most of us, then yeah, they can't get any money. But if you do have an estate or something like that, that will then be responsible for paying it. If a parent passes away while a child is still under 18 and / or living at home, the full-time parent may wonder how he or she will afford the bills without monthly support payments. Will the untimely former spouse's death terminate the child support agreement? Luckily, The answer is no. In California and most other states, the courts do not think it is fair that a child should not only have to lose a parent, but also lose support payments that provide him or her with a better quality of life. Child support payments will continue in California after the death of the paying parent. Several family law cases in California regarding such an event have held that the paying spouse's estate will take on the responsibility of paying out a child support agreement after the decedent's death. The decedent's estate includes all of the deceased person's property, assets, bank accounts, investments, etc. left behind after death. The responsibility of a child support payment will go toward the estate's debt. She did have a child with an 83-year-old, and she's getting $30,000 a month. And, you know, he might pass away anytime, but that doesn't mean she's not going to be getting her money. So it's going to fall on the Pacino estate to then have to pay that out. Pacino is also the father to 22-year-old twins, Olivia and Anton, whom he welcomed with his former girlfriend, Beverly D'Angelo, and a 33-year-old daughter, Julie, whom he shares with the acting coach, Jan Tarrant. So that's the story. You know, she got with him. She got pregnant. This kid's barely 4 months old. She filed for custody. It says that in the article back in September when they were, quote unquote, still together. And now she's got her child support payments. I mean, is she wrong for that? Well, she hasn't done anything illegal. And Pacino decided to make this decision. He wanted another baby at age 83. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's senile. Maybe you could say that. But at the end of the day, the way the courts are going to look at this is, well, we got a baby that exists now that needs to be supported. And Occam's razor basically suggests that this is the quickest way to get, you know, provisioning for the child. And, you know, she doesn't have to stay with them. So that's that. I saw a lot of people saying that, well, if he dies, she's not going to get anything. And that just isn't true. So I wanted to dispel that. Anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Leave your comments down below.